Miss Magandang Morenex herself. Please welcome on stage Miss Asia Jackson! Hey baby girl, looking so fly. Hi.
How are you guys doing?
There you go. I was gonna give you a chance to say hi to everyone who came here just for you. Go ahead, Asia.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited. I haven't been back in the Philippines in like 13 years, so this is like my first time since I've lived here, so I'm super excited to be back.
And everyone's obviously super excited to have you here as well. So earlier we celebrated Danny Barreto's birthday. Apparently we are celebrating another birthday today, not of yours, but of your movement.
Yes.
2 years of hashtag Magandang Morenex. So how does it feel for something that you started to have gotten so big?
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. You know, when I first started the hashtag, it had like 40 tweets, like the first day that we did it. And then now I just checked on Instagram and it says there's like 12,000 posts or
That's
something
crazy.
like that. So it like totally blew up and it's insane.
And it's not like, you know, a random word na everyone will just tweet. This is something that they actually typed because Magandang Morenex, it's not, you know, an everyday coined phrase.
Yeah, you don't just like, Magandang Morenex and that's it.
Yes,
yeah, it's
exactly.
Like there's a purpose.
So people actually type this out, and that's a whole bunch of people. So congratulations on that, on this incredible move have started, and it's being celebrated by Morenas all over the world. And when I first saw it, I didn't understand why you used an X instead of an A, and you explained that it's because it's inclusive to all genders.
Yes,
How
yes,
did
yes,
you
yes.
start this? How did you think about doing that?
Well, I just knew that there's a lot of, Tagalog in general is like not a gendered language, but moreno is a Spanish word. And so I didn't want, you know, people who identified as moreno to use magandang morena, like that doesn't make sense. So I decided,
Smart.
you know, magandang morenex so everyone could use it.
Very wise.
Yeah.
You seem like a very confident person, as you can see on stage, as you can probably tell from all her videos. Has this always been the truth about you? Have you always
Absolutely
been?
not.
Oh,
No, I was
take us
so-
through this journey of yours.
Girl, let me tell you something. I was so shy as a child and I was bullied like basically my entire childhood. So loving myself did not come easy. I really had to work on my self-love to be the confident person that I am today. But yeah, it did not come easy, girl.
What steps did you take? Like, were there any realizations that you made along the way that brought you to where you are now self-confidence-wise?
Yeah, you know, it is so... One thing that I learned was that it's so difficult to love yourself when we're living in a world that tells you that you're not good enough. Like everywhere you go, you know, there's advertisements telling you, you need to change this, you need to change that, you need to change everything about yourself. And it was really difficult to love myself that way. But once I realized that everything is a trend or like everything is for profit, that's when I kind of like decided, hey, I'm gonna start loving myself for who I am and I don't care what anybody else thinks about it.
It's so easy to get derailed by a lot of external factors like the media, like what other people, there's so many mean people in this world, aren't there?
So many.
And I don't understand where it's all coming from, but it's so easy to get derailed by comments from them, by media. It's so easy to lose yourself in that. So for you to find a voice and to become so strong, that's really incredible. And like they say, you know, it's the first step that is the hardest, but it doesn't really mean that the following steps after that are going to be easy. That's so not the case. But how important is it for you to, you know, keep the movement going and to spread awareness?
It's really important to keep the movement going because, you know, like I said, when I was a child, I was bullied for having darker skin. And I also had like friends and family and classmates who are also made fun of, like snide remarks and things like that being made about their like brown skin tone. And I remembered how that felt when it was done to me. And I like, from that day on, I was like, I never, ever want anyone else to feel this way because this is like the worst thing that has ever happened. And so I really want to keep the moment alive because I don't want anyone else to feel this way. So it's really important to me. This hashtag is like my baby. Like I want to continue growing it so that the people who need to see it can see it.
And it has grown a lot, and a lot of your fans are here, and a lot of them, oh, there they are. A lot of them sent in their questions, and why don't we go ahead and check those out right now. Again, if there are any other questions that you want to ask Asia or any of our panelists, the hashtag to use is AskIAGAT. Where's Denise? Denise Cassandra, are you still here? Denise Cassandra. There she is. Hey, Denise.
Hey, girl.
Look at her all shy now, trying to hide.
Your glasses are so cute. I have a pair exactly like those.
Look at that. That's wonderful. Okay, so her question to you is, what is your advice to girls out there who want to be an influencer like you?
Ooh. Okay, so I get this question a lot. Everybody listen up. If you want to be an influencer, listen to exactly what I'm saying. It is so easy to make videos and upload them, or just to post pictures of yourself on Instagram. It's so easy to do that. That's why everyone's doing it. What separates the successful influencers from everyone else is that they have a purpose. They have a reason for what they're doing. And the people who, I guess, like, were poppin' for like a year and then kind of fell off, they had no longevity because they weren't saying anything. So have something that you're passionate about talk about something that's like relates to the world that we're living in, you know, whether that's like, for me, it's like colorism and racism and representation. If you want to talk about like women's empowerment, then talk about that. But have something to talk about so that you're a fully human, like a fully realized human being to your audience, because you never just want to like upload photos and call it a day. You want to have a purpose for everything that you're doing.
And authenticity as well. You know, you can't just
for
be
sure.
harping about a cause and not really believe in it. But obviously, like with how you followed through with your cause, it is really near and dear to your heart. And I think that's important as well. Hello to Almira Tabag. Where are you, Almira? Almira, raise your hand. I cannot see you, but I hope you are still here because I am about to ask your question. What would you tell a girl who is suffering from low self-esteem to make her feel better about herself?
Yeah. So like every time anyone gets asked this question, like a celebrity or an influencer or whatever, I feel like the most common answer is like, just embrace who you are. But that's such a simple answer to a really complex issue. Having high self-esteem or like loving yourself really is not easy. Take it from someone who has been bullied like basically her entire childhood. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of conscious effort. Like you have to consciously do things to love yourself. So like, for example, for me, I was really like self-conscious about my hair growing up because everyone made fun of it, and I learned to embrace it now. I wear it natural now, but like every time I would see a magazine cover or an advertisement that had like straighten your hair, and straight hair is beautiful, I literally had to tell myself like, oh, you know what, that's not me. This is who I am and I love myself. So you really have to consciously make an effort to love yourself because it's really difficult to do, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's a more general take on things. But Patricia Isiasa, are you still here, Patricia? There she is.
Hey.
Now, this is a more direct question, specifically to your cause. What is your advice to teenagers who want to motivate others that being morena is beautiful?
The advice that I would give for that is to say something. Stand up for yourself and stand up for your friends. You know, I feel like people are so comfortable being mean to others because the people that they're being mean to don't say anything. They don't stand up for themselves. So if you see something that you don't feel is right, then stand up and say something. There's an example. When I was living up in Baguio and I was going to school, one of my classmates called me the N-word. And I was like, okay, hold up. Absolutely not. I had a textbook in my hand and I hit him in the head with a textbook. Now, I'm not advocating for violence. I'm not saying go hit people in the head with textbooks, but if you see something or you hear something that you're not okay with, you have to say something. You have to stand up for yourself.
That's amazing advice. And yes, we are not advocating violence, but we are advocating making your voice heard and letting people know that, you know what, that's not cool at all. My last question for you is beauty standards. You know, the world has them. Body standard, color standard, hair standard. We all battle all these things each and every day. Now, how do you stand firm against the world's definition of beautiful?
So, one thing that you guys probably hear a lot is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know, everyone says it, but like, what does that really mean? So, There's one thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell like a personal story. So I have, you know, like these little like when I smile, these like little things under my eyes. I used to be so self-conscious about that. And then when I was in a music video for a K-pop artist named Zico. He's like a rapper. So like when that music video came out, there were a lot of people who were commenting on it, but they said that it was like super cute. And so I learned that in Korea, it's called aegyosa or whatever. They said like that it's cute in their culture because it makes you look youthful or whatever. And I was like, oh wow. So like beauty really is in the eye of the beholder, because every
Something
time
you hated about yourself.
yeah,
is
something I hated about myself, they found really cute. And so I was like, oh, interesting. So one thing you have to remember is that just because one person says something negative about the way you look, it doesn't matter, because that person just has a screwed up version of beauty.
That's great.
I love this. I'm learning so much from you, Asia, and I'm sure your fans are very happy that you're on stage. We're gonna have to let her go for just a little bit. Don't worry, she will be back for the super panel that's coming up later on in the show. So indeed, even with improvements and creating openness such as your movement, hashtag Magandang Morenex, society still has a long way to go. And we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. A huge round of applause, please, for the beautiful Miss Asia Jackson. And it's a girl thing. We'll be back with more in just a few minutes.
Whoa, I'm never gonna quit. I'm gonna dream big tonight. Whoa.